Well done, Deb.
Mm-hmm.
You were being you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were being you.
Yes.
You were coming out and playing, and it's so clear you've put yourself on the track of being willing to come out and play even further. It's like so good to see you, as we've been saying. So thank you for this presentation. You did a great job building relationship. I like that you know your audience. I mean, it was like, wow, I'm talking to a presenter who knows who I am and who I already have so much relationship with, and she can acknowledge me personally for things I'm up to. It's like, okay. Your stories are great. The story about the planner, I was like, your day planner and
The Colonel?
the Colonel, yes. And the story about the gym, it's like both of those, they landed because they had a lesson for the listener. So those were really good. One of the things, the biggest thing that I'd love to see you take up to that level is, first of all, it wasn't clear to me until about 10 minutes into the presentation what the presentation was about. So making it really clear to the listener, today we're going to look at a different definition of success that's going to support you in your business. I'm going to explain exactly what the definition is and how you can use it so that you can go experience more ease, because that's what you did say. You said ease. But one of the things that and this is really for all of us, knowing that each thing you're doing builds on the thing prior. And this is something I've learned from practicing this work, explaining the purpose of whatever you're about to do. So in a moment we're gonna go through an exercise, and the purpose of this exercise is so that you can get some experience practicing this tool you've just learned. Then you explain the exercise. But what happened here is you went into explaining a thing about the hero, and the whole time you were explaining about the hero, I was like, I want to get it, but it wasn't clear to me how that built on the thing prior or was building towards anything that was coming next. So creating those links for right now I'm going to explain a little bit about the hero's journey so that as we look at the what was the purpose of the hero's journey for you? I'm curious.
It's building the bridge for a group of business owners between focusing all about the business and giving you tools about the business to today we're going to focus on you.
Okay.
It's the shift from let's talk about business to that's where I did the tools, the 9 tools that you want. I'm going to give you those, but today we're going to talk about you.
Okay, good.
Because that doesn't show up in the business arena very
Okay.
often.
Okay. You could do that with hero. I think it's okay. Or you may not even need to say a lot about the hero to do that. You could just say, we're going to offer you right now a different definition of success. Now, you said, you don't need to, you might be familiar with workshops that are about 9 tips. This isn't going to be one of those workshops. I am going to give you some real practical tools, but this isn't going to be a whole lot of tips. First, we're going to be looking at you and your life. So let me now give you a definition of success that you can use in your own life. And then you just go into it. But if you're going to do hero, there's got to be more of a connection of, okay, well, why do I need that definition of hero in order to be focused on myself rather than 9 tips? Because that link wasn't clear yet.
Good.
The other thing is flip chart clarity.
You like that, huh?
Practice, practice, practice. And you can ask Zoe sometime. Ask Zoe the journey he went on. Flip chart writing. If you need to take time to write it, write it. Even in an example practice scenario like this.
Yeah, even if you have maybe a sheet of paper covering the already printed out.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be better.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah, that's
neat
intense.
and it's beautiful.
Yes.
And then you move this sheet of paper over and people see that.
Yep. And we've talked about this before. When you go back and watch your recording, which remember we're going to have you all do, notice nodding. Do a lot of sort of like a right. So notice that, and you can just kind of be yourself, and you don't have to look for agreement from the group. That's it.
Great.
What did you all have?
You know, one of the things that we all saw was you being Deb Oliver.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how wonderful that really is. One of the things that I know you and I and Wayne really understand, sometimes it's hard to get the minister out of what we're doing. The beginning was the formula for how we do a Sunday morning service.
Is it?
Yeah. The beginning felt like I didn't know where it was going, and what a fabulous Sunday morning talk that whole hero thing is. But I could see
In
that.
and of itself.
Yeah, in and
Yeah.
of itself. It was great. It was great.
So, you're very, very enrolling, and
Yep.
I found myself wanting to answer your questions, and you said some things that were just so unusual. You know, I bet you all have a definition of success. And does anything in there have to do with having your life be easier at all? You know, and just stuff like that, and people would laugh a little bit, you know. So, keep your enrollment introductions down to about 2 minutes. Because if you don't, you'll lose everybody. All right? Because they won't know too much. Okay, what does she talking about? Do you know, I already got that I'm a hero. This is, you know, she wants me to see this. I'm willing to see this, and let's get on with the meat of the program, especially with the business people. You know how they are, which is tell me what you're gonna give me, so that I can sit back and relax, and I know you're taking me somewhere in an organized fashion, you know? And because everything you say is brilliant and straightforward, and I could have listened to you for much longer. Okay, I could have. And even so, I was asking, now what is this talk about? I like hearing it, but I still don't get the purpose because of the dynamic way in which you were interacting with everybody. Very refreshing. So, keep it on the purpose, and tone it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. The volume, a little bit. Little modulation. So, being softer, and then saying something dramatic out there. And then softer, and then a little dramatic. I think some of you are, you know, it's like you're full out, high volume the whole time.
Well, that's not even close to full out.
Well, but see, this is the thing. Listen, if I believe you, and let me say to you, if you were to speak in front of 500 people, I could see you let loose, okay? But you have to be aware when you're speaking to a smaller group of people, so that you don't blast them out of the universe, okay? Let me tell you that for me, personally, my energy is perfect for a room of 350 people. In teaching the courses I'm teaching, I've had to learn to modulate myself, okay? To hold back. Because if I were to really be me with this book, well, you know that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the same thing.
Boom, with 350 people, no problem. That's a small group for me, you know, because my energy can contain that whole thing with ease. So for those of us who have that kind of energy, You've got to tone it down just a little bit more with a smaller group. Okay? You got it. You got what it takes to do that. Okay, 3 people, 1 sentence each. And then we're going on to Mike. Three people, 1 sentence each.
Really masterful enrollment. I mean, even in your description, as I think I blurted out, like I want this right now, and like I know this tool, but I want what you're giving me right now. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes?
I just, you radiate like commitment to supporting and serving other people, and I just could really sense how much you wanted like my success, even though I'm not actually like a business person, like, yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to
I
be
was like,
smart.
excuse me?
It's new, it's like 2 weeks.
I love how, like, as soon as you began, I had the sense, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be something really special.
Yeah.
And like, you're really taking this thing that I might take for granted, because I do it every day, and, you know, lifting it up to what it really is, a hero's journey, you know, a big part of my life. So,
Good.
That was,
I like the way that you personalized it and made it your own. So it didn't sound like reading off a script or something like that. So, and the stories, as Jeremy said, really landed, so nicely done.
And Deb, I want to say that even with the dynamics Maria was just referring to, there was a gentleness about you today that I'm connecting with yesterday that was very empowering.
Yeah.
Just to see that not exactly soft, but in a way it was. There was a softness to what you did without diminishing anything that you said. It was very sweet to see.
It's clear that you really love people.
Mhm. Yeah. It
Yeah,
is.
It's really very clear, very, very clear.
Extra clear.
And that you love working with business people.
Yeah.
I do,
Yes.
they're heroes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very clear.
they're engaged.
Yeah, they are. You know who I love working with? Women entrepreneurs. Oh my God. You know, what we women entrepreneurs go through is quite something. Men entrepreneurs too, but to be a woman entrepreneur still in this culture requires just one hell of a lot of guts.
You know what, it's true, and one of the things I love about working with men is I believe, it's a structure of knowing, I believe that they're willing to share with me things that they wouldn't share with other men,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not threatening,
Yeah.
and things that they don't need to go home and share with their wives.
Okay.
So there's a level of confidant that's available, it's really just.
Great, and let me switch that a little bit with you, okay? Because for 2 years, I led 2 all-men's support groups, all right? And one of the groups, they were truck drivers and ministers and just a whole bunch of great people. One of those groups actually gave Rita and me one of our weddings. We've been married 3 times.
Aw.
They gave us a wedding. They planned the whole thing. There was like 100 people there. There was a minister who one of the men, you know, because they said Rita and my relationship was a contribution to them, you know. But I want to give you just a little thing. Switch this, please. The things that they couldn't say to their wives, switch. I'm going to show them how they can say things to their wives that they never thought they could say.
There's that element too. I'm talking about bringing business home that they really don't need to bring home.
Well, yes, but see, there's some vulnerable stuff, including talking about business with your wife, that is, you know, talking about your hopes and dreams and stuff and bring your business. So, you know, that they can talk, you were saying it in a different way because of the confidant. They can say to me some of the things that they can't say to their wife. No, not really. You know, yeah, they have the room to cough up some of the stuff about their business so that when they go home, they have some relevant conversations with their wife
Exactly.
and bring their wife in. Do you hear what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
putting that part into your vision, I think it's gonna click a bunch of things into place.
Mhm.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay,
I think the group tonight needs to write a song, Truck Drivers, Ministers, and Weddings.
Yeah.
That is the title. It sounds like a great country western
It
song,
sounds like
doesn't
country
it?
western song.
oh, it's great, it's great.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so now we're gonna have Mike